Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. This episode is weird. Because I'm going to be honest, it didn't start off good with any of it. It slowly started to get good with certain parts. In the beginning, when I was sitting there watching it, I was just like, this is going to be so hard to talk about. Let's talk about the Sunny Side Story stuff, because I'm gonna be honest, that was actually pretty good. It wasn't great, but it was pretty good though compared to some of the other stuff in this episode, and this is particularly with Lenny and Nina. They had to sit there and have a conversation, and it was about hope as far as his prognosis, and he's worried that he doesn't want to give Phyllis a lot of hope, and then things don't work out. So he pretty much, makes Nina promise him that if things gets to turn for the worse, you'll stop her from hoping so much, because it's a soul-crushing experience when it doesn't work out the way that you want it to. So I understand where Lenny was coming from. So I thought that was a good conversation to have. And it was a little kind of sad, but I think it was really needed. Besides that, it's just the usual crap at this point. Nina is talking to Sonny, and Sonny is all happy to be with Nina because he doesn't have his memories. And, well, he clearly doesn't seem like he cared about getting his memories back. Meanwhile, Nina is smiling in his face, trying to not get pulled too much into him, but also, well, let's be honest, hiding him from his family. That's literally what she does every single time that she talks to Ava or Michael or somebody of Sonny's family. She's just hiding him. She's keeping him away from his family. So every time I sit there and look at her, even when I see them smiling and hugging and stuff like that, it's just like, ugh, Like, it just... And that's kind of on both of them, to be honest. It's not just on Nina. It's not. Because, again, Sonny didn't seem like he really gave a damn about whoever, also owned that other wedding ring, or the fact that he might have kids or family or anything like that. So to be honest, the hee-haw kind of goes to both of them. Let's talk about Ben and Liz, because I don't even have words at this point. I'm literally without words. Once again, they found themselves in there talking about Peter and a dead body in the middle of the damn hospital, just anybody can walk past at any point in time, and Terry walks past, and I really feel like they need to give Terry something to do. And I feel like they might. Because at this point, she doesn't really do anything. Yeah, okay, she's Liz's friend. She calls her Biz, because that's their thing, and apparently that's funny or clever or something, but she doesn't really actually do anything. She's just kind of there. Like, even when she was accompanying Portia to the nightclub or whatever, she was just there. She was there, and then she left, and it was like, you could have not been there at all. It would have been the exact same scene. So I really hope, because they got a picture there or whatever, I really hope that they actually give her something to do. I really do. And she comes in there, and she's talking about Peter. She's, oh, well, I hope, Peter gets what he deserves, and yada, yada, yada. And I'm just like, okay, sure. After Terry leaves, I guess Terry leaves or whatever, and Fan and Liz are once again talking about Peter's dead body and talking about the fact that they can't do anything. And they get to the point where they get outside, and it's just like the same stupid conversation that they've been having for, what is it now, weeks? Keep going back to that same thing. Oh, what are we going to sit there and do? So Liz comes up. Liz is like, we can sit there and get Terry. You know, Terry and I, we know each other for a while. She'll help us out. Finn is like, no, I don't think that's a good idea. Don't sit there and implicate anyone else. Finn, because I'm going to be honest, I don't see you coming up with, well, pretty much anything. I mean, hell, you listened to Liz, and now you got yourself in this, and you're not really offering anything to help. Like, you're not, you know, and once again, Liz is like, we should bring Jason in. Oh, I don't know about that. Well, so you coming up with anything else? So, like, and, you know, she sits there and tells him, like, hey, listen, he's never been caught, he's never been convicted. I mean, he's never been convicted. You know, he's good at what he does. Like, this is literally his expertise. Like, this is his thing. Now, while they're talking, Jason, I don't know, I guess he was outside or whatever, and he overhears a little bit of the conversation. So when Finn leaves, because Finn is like, oh, well, I'll think of something. Just give me some time. Give me some time. This man just said, give me some time. It's been weeks, bro. Okay. Give me some time. Okay. Man is shooting down ideas left and right. You listen to Liz and got you in the situation, but give you some time. Okay. So once Finn leaves, Jason's just like, he's like, hey, and it's, I'm not gonna lie, it scares the crap out of Liz. Like, she just jumps. And Jason's like, what's going on? I see you sitting there having these conversations with Finn. You're gonna talk to me about something. Now you're sitting there talking about Peter in some sort of way. Like, whatever it is, I can help you. I'm just wondering at this point, are you going to let Jason help you with all this? Or are you going to just sit there and just, I guess what, hope that Finn comes up with something? I mean, let's be honest. She's the one that actually told Finn to not turn himself into the cops. So I'm just like, well, what are you going to do? This is making it worse. Making it worse. And when y'all both go to jail, which I doubt they're probably going to go to jail, or, you know, even so, for how long, this is all going to come back to her. And when it does, I'm going to laugh. I'm going to laugh. I am going to laugh, and I know that sounds very dickish, but I'm going to laugh because that was her idea. So whatever happens on her part, I'm going to laugh. That sounds terrible. It really does, but I can't help it. She got it. Okay, I'm going to move on for that because I just, no. I'm going to laugh. And I know that makes me terrible, but I'm going to laugh. Jason has his heart-to-heart with Monica. And Monica's just like, you know, the only reservations that she has is Carly and what Carly did to AJ. Now, I'm going to be honest, I came into the game kind of late on that. I think it was around 2001 I came into it as far as watching it. So I don't know all the ins and outs of Carly and AJ and stuff like that. I've seen, by the time I started watching it, I did see some stuff of AJ, you know, but it wasn't enough where I could sit there and say, well, Sonny and Carly was wrong, or AJ was wrong for this. I came into it afterwards, so I have no dog in the race. You know, I have, you know. Only thing I did hear about was that the reason, you know, Jason had brain damage is because AJ got behind the wheel of a car, started driving reckless, and, well, to be honest, they're just both lucky that they didn't die, so. But yeah, you know, she blames Carly for AJ's downfall, and, you know, granted, you know, they did stuff to each other back and forth. It's just something that she just can't get past. That's pretty much the entire conversation of it. And, you know, Jason accepts it, and of course he defends Carly, and it's just, you know, at this point, I just don't care. But he does walk up to Britt. He was like, can I say hello? And I'm like, bro, what are you... My goodness. Just because you see her, you can actually walk the other way. How many times does this woman have to sit there and tell you, I want no parts of you? Don't talk to me. Nothing. It's all... I get... No, it's stupid. No. I'm trying to give Jason a bit of leeway, and that's mostly because he's my favorite character. But I'm like, bro. And it's funny. I was not there thinking about this at work. Because somebody was like, in the comment section, somebody was like, they're gonna sit there and find a way to consummate that marriage. And I'm like, man, if they do, in a way, both of them are gonna be trash to me. Both of them are gonna be trash to me. And once again, this kind of goes back to This Is Us, which I'm actually on the last episode of of the current season, or the last season that just happened. In the same way that I sit there and look at Miguel and Rebecca, and I'm just like, how do you, there's lines you just don't cross. And I feel like if they consummate the marriage for whatever reason, or they start to have feelings for each other, I'm just going to be like, yo, y'all both trash. I mean, Jason, as much as I love Jason, we all know how much I love Jason, I'm like, bro, you trash. That was literally your best friend. Somebody who was like a brother to you. And out of all the women you could have chose to get with, you choose to get with your best friend's wife. And Carly, I don't even want to get into Carly, but that'll still be trash too. Like your husband died, and you're gonna sit there and consummate a marriage with your dead husband's best friend. I got no words for that. Terry and Britt get into it and get all catty with each other. And I still don't understand Terry's beef with Britt. I really don't. What did Britt do to Elizabeth? Besides the fact that she cut her hours, and she was working with Cyrus. But she was cutting a lot of people. She was changing up a lot of stuff for the staff, and she was pretty much doing it on Cyrus's orders. So granted, again, I did take a break from watching GH, so I don't know the full extent of what Britt did to Liz, but I just don't understand Terry's beef with Liz. And to be honest, I don't really understand Liz's beef with Britt, but whatever. They both go back and forth, and then Monica walks up to him and is like, head to my office. And pretty much, she was like, I made my recommendation for the chief of staff. Now, again, I sit there and I look at this whole Terry situation and how she just randomly decided, oh, I want to be chief of staff. Really? Since when? Doesn't she have her own department to run? What, she's not happy there? I don't understand. She comes at Britt and she's all like, oh, well, I wouldn't have sat there and let a drug lord, take over the hospital and, because I actually care about the hospital. I was like, okay, well, that's true. But, let's be honest. This guy was going to sit there and take over the hospital either way. It was just a matter of who was going to be, he was going to sit there and sit there and get his way. But, whatever. She's like, I made my decision, and to be honest, I have a feeling like it's going to be Terry. I do. I know Monica does not like Britt. She doesn't. And granted, I don't think that's going to be a factor into it, but with the whole Cyrus thing, it's just not really looking in Britt's favor, to be honest, so. Man, I hope that Britt got enough support. I mean, she was already saying that they're getting Austin's support, but yeah, I don't really see it working out well for Britt. So, let's get to the pool scene. Already, yeah, I guess we can call it the pool scene, the lounge scene, or whatever, because we're gonna be seeing so much more of those scenes. Especially since they built it and spent money on it. So you got Trina, Spencer, Nicholas, and Ava. They all both get there, and Trina has an idea of quote unquote parent trapping them. She runs about Spencer, but Spencer's like, yo, yeah, I still don't like Ava. You know, for something that happened like 5 years ago. But whatever, I don't like Ava. So Trina's like, alright, F it, I'm gonna do it myself. She gets the waiters to like order drinks for each other and saying that the other person sent it. Now at some point Austin comes in there and Ava thinks that Austin was the one that gave her the drink. They start talking. Next thing you know, kind of everyone gathers up and Austin's like, listen, I mean, I didn't buy you the drink. I mean, I'm not cheap, but I didn't buy you the drink. I mean, I would have bought you the drink. And Spencer's like, well, Trina's the one that tried to parent trap y'all. Dick? Like, are you kidding me? I was just like, wow, Spencer, oh my goodness, you're just, I don't even know. And I felt like, right then and there, Trina could have just outed him. That he was in town for a while, pretending to be some guy named Victor. She could have outed him, but she didn't. All she said was, "Hey, listen, Avery, I'm sorry, whatever," and she walks off. I don't even know what to make of that scene, but Nicholas is like, because at some point they start talking. Hold on. At some point, Nicholas and Ava start talking, and Nicholas is like, well, with that being said, where does this leave us? I'm like, Nicholas, Trina is like 18 at best. You are a grown-ass man. I really don't understand. It's like this guy is literally just entitled. And every time they start talking, and every time, Nicholas is getting all upset and hitting his feelings about, the divorce, this, that, and the third, I just sit there and think about the time that Ava asked Nicholas, hey, if the roles were reversed, and you had to sit there and protect Spencer, what would you do? And he hesitated. He couldn't even answer because he already knew what the right call was. But yet he expects Ava to sit there and stay with him because, well, it's him. And that's just him being an entitled jackass. But, Ava's like, listen, we're still going through with the divorce, and that's going to be that. And she just walks away. And I think at some point she talks to Austin and starts flirting with him again, because why not? So, Valentine and Anna. Anna comes over to the Quartermains to see Valentine. They come with a new theory. And they both reach the conclusion that most likely it was Finn. So now at this point, Valentine's like, well, what are you going to do? And Anna's like, well, I guess I'll just have to sit there and ask him. So towards the end of the episode, she finds Finn, and Finn is like, hey, do you got any new leads on where Peter's at? Really, bro? And I don't remember what Anna said, but at some point, I don't think that she's probably going to sit there and confront them, like, in the next episode. I wish that she would, but, with these soap operas, they tend to just drag things out, so I guess we'll just wait and see. It's good that Anna finally figured it out, though, with the description and everything like that. It was only a matter of time. You know what? I take that back. I think that she did confront him. Because she was sitting there saying something along the lines of, well, if I figured it out, it's not going to be that long before the cops figure it out. And I'm just sitting there thinking, Finn, you know, if you would just listen to your own gut, instead of sitting there listening to Liz, you wouldn't be in this mess. But no, you had to sit there and listen to Liz, which, honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm not going to lie, I'm really surprised that she was willing to cover it up. You know, being all like Liz and everything like that, you would sit there and think that it would be all about truth and honesty and, you know, turning stuff in and being a law-abiding citizen and stuff, but for some odd reason, that didn't click. Also didn't click the fact that she has 3 kids. I'm not gonna lie, it seems so, like... Now I'm just thinking about it, just it seems so out of character for Liz. I don't really understand at all. Like, why would she do that? Why would she agree to go with a cover-up for her? She's never strike me as the type of person that would cover up a crime. I mean, maybe if she did it herself, maybe she may hesitate and get scared and might decide to do it, but, like, she didn't even do that. She just went downstairs to check if the guy was dead. She would have been, you know, never mind. I think that I'm trying to make too much sense out of a soap opera, and, well, that doesn't do me any good, so. Oh, and the last scene. Man, there was so many characters in this episode. And that's the Shawn, Alexis, Jordan, and Sam scene. So, official word is that Shawn is free. Time served, no parole conditions, he's walking free man. Alexis, which, I'm not gonna lie, this just vexes me. Alexis gets to go to her cushy jail. I am so trying not to sit there and say what I want to say, because I feel like that's offensive, but, yeah, she's pretty much kind of just going to her country club. After stabbing a man while she was drunk, she goes to a damn country club. I don't understand that. But, Shawn doesn't list the help of Sam as far as, you know, tracking down the real person that killed, well, the real person that shot Hayden. And hopefully he can sit there and try to lead to her coming back, which, you know, at this point, if they can't get the original actress, then they should just recast. I don't like recasting for a lot of reasons, but I feel like this is necessary. Because this character, Hayden, has been gone for a long time. So unless she's been kidnapped or something, this literally makes no sense. I have to tell you the truth now, I'm thinking about it, I'm surprised that Finn didn't sit there and try to, like, hire somebody to try to find her, but whatever. So yeah, he gets Sam help. He gets help from Sam. And Sam agrees to, you know, help him out. Of course, she has to sit there and check about her conditions, about her parole, as far as, you know, hanging out with felons. But other than that, she seems like she's gonna help, which is good. It's good because it gives her something to do, and this is in her wheelhouse to do as far as, you know, being a PI. So this works out. Now, Alexis, really? Alexis gets escorted to her new jail, which, I'm not going to lie, even in the beginning where she was there talking to Sam, and Sam was like, well, you know, you're going to be in a better jail, it's not going to be as rough or crazy or whatever, and, you know, Alexis is like, well, you know, at the end of the day, it is still a jail. I'm like, I'm sorry, I almost sound like you're complaining. You almost sound like you're complaining. I mean, you're the one that pleaded to go to jail in the first place. And now they get you from the more rougher and violent jail to the more cushier country club jail. And you have the audacity to sit there and complain. Is this... you know, I should tell you, it's vapid remarks like that it's just like, you... Anyway, she gets escorted to her new jail by Jordan, and Jordan's like, listen, at the end of the day, this is still jail. And Alexa's like, well, so I guess I gotta sit there and listen to what my jail coach said, right? I'm like, sometimes they have her ask stupid questions, and I'm just like, so this is the Harvard educated lawyer. Okay, so Jordan leaves her. There's a new patient that comes in, and it's Ryan. Like, okay, I guess we're gonna have him awake from his coma or something and start, going around killing people or something. Or trying to kill people, which would be good, because then at least it will kind of just, make it a little more exciting. And I think that's about it. I feel like I'm missing something, but I feel like this episode wasn't really that great, especially for a cliffhanger Friday. The only thing that was really a cliffhanger was Ryan. Did Ryan do anything? No, he just sat there. So how is that a clip? But yeah, this episode wasn't really great. There were some good moments in this episode, but it wasn't really great. The last couple of episodes hasn't been really great. There's been great moments, but it hasn't been great. And I talk about this sometimes in my Days reviews, and I'm like, yo, Days have been on fire. And I like some of these characters a lot more than I like Days, but it's like you just get a bunch of characters in here, and half of the times they're just filler. Finn and Liz, they're talking about a dead body, but not doing anything about it. Like, you've been talking about the same topic for the past couple of weeks, and you didn't sit there and even make a plan. So it's just every day we're just going to sit there and talk about a dead body in the middle of the damn hospital room, and no plan, because no one can sit there and agree on anything. And then the talk with Monica and Jason, as I was sitting there watching it, I'm just like, I know that Monica wants to support her son, but I'm also just like, you really don't see a problem with the fact that Jason is marrying his quote-unquote best friend's wife? Like, that doesn't strike you as odd? No, we're just going to keep going with this? Like, stuff like that. That's just like, that makes it somewhat of a stupid scene. And why was I'm about to sit there and say, why do you need to sit there and talk again? Oh yeah, also to sit there and give Monica an update about Austin, which really wasn't an update, because pretty much everything that Austin said he was, it checked out from Spinelli's end. So, talking about the marriage again was just kind of pointless. Yeah, I wasn't really a fan of this episode. It wasn't terrible, but it was kind of boring. Some good moments, but overall, could have been better. Anyway, with that being said, we are going into 28 minutes. Wow. Yes, so with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe. I hope everyone has a great and safe weekend. Damn Wild West out there, so definitely keep your head on a swivel and be safe. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I will see you in the next video.